Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending. My name is Tyler Petrangelo. I'm a child support worker with the Ventura County Department of Child Support Services, and I've been there about 12 years. And I'm going to be speaking today about a document that we often send to you. It's called a wage and insurance verification. And the purpose of this document is to confirm employment and possibly learn more details about an individual that we have on our caseload, someone that we think is working for you. Maybe we have their name, but we don't have an address, or maybe we don't have a phone number, so we're hoping to get more information from you. We use the information about their employment to calculate a proposed amount of child support to get a court order for child support. That includes things like not just their wages, but health insurance costs and availability, and their taxes and their filing status, that sort of stuff. This information can also help us determine an appropriately sized payment on past due support. Sometimes when people miss payments, they accrue a balance, and we also need to pay that down as well. And then the information can also tell us if this individual has other obligations or other dependents that we need to consider. All right, here's the first page of the document. And those of you that have been doing child support garnishments or health insurance orders for a little while, you might recognize this form. It's going to look a little different, though. It was recently changed to provide two options in how to complete it. Option one is the original, the only way it was done before, where you receive the document, you complete the information that we're asking for, and you simply return it to us. Option two, though, now allows you to print out. You may have a screenshot or a way to print out information from your software, from your payroll software, that already includes this information, and you don't need to write it if it's all included, and then you would send it back to us. We're also stamping, case managers like myself are also stamping this document with our own email addresses so that you can return this form electronically, which is faster and easier. Okay, so here's the first page where we ask you to provide information. And at the top, this is who we're talking about, the employee's name, social security number, date of birth, address, phone number, basic information. All of information like this is kept confidential. So social security numbers or other private information is protected. And then below their information, we have their work status. I've highlighted a couple of the boxes there. This might be someone that never was employed with you. Maybe we got the wrong information, or we were misled or something like that. We thought they worked for you, but they don't work for you, and that's fine. You can mark that. Or they could be someone who's currently employed, and you can let us know if they are part-time, full-time, or if they're a seasonal worker. They might be an independent contractor, also known as a 1099 employee. You can mark that. Or perhaps they were employed with you, but they're no longer employed with you. That's the last option. And then you can provide us, please, with the last date that they're employed, or their termination date. And then there's a reason for termination you can put there as well. If you know the new employer that they've gone to, we ask you to please provide that, the name and address of the new employer. All right. Below that, tax filing. Status, single, head of household, married. Again, this information is important for us to calculate how much child support we're going to ask the courts to order in the case. Then we get into their pay. The pay date, the pay frequency. Most people are biweekly, but you might have semi-monthly or monthly or weekly. Then deductions, things like mandatory retirement, like for a pension, or union dues. And if they are a union member, if you could please provide that information. And then their period of employment. You may only have a start date if they're still employed with you, that's fine. Or they may have been a previous employee, and you can give us the range of their time of employment with you. And this bottom section, where you're going to list their gross earnings, this is probably something that you would be able to print out and provide rather than having to write this down, depending on the software that you have to do your payroll with. But we ask for monthly gross earnings here. All right, next page. Now we get into health insurance. The type of employment that someone has might mean that there is no health insurance available. That's the first option. Or there might not be health insurance available for dependents. They may have it for just the employee, but not for the employee's dependents. Or you have health insurance that is available at no cost, or you might have health insurance that is available at a cost, either a partial cost because the employer covers some, or maybe it's a full cost. But if you could please provide us with this information, this is going to help us, A, determine how much child support someone should be paying, but also if the health insurance costs are reasonable for us to deduct, although that we talk about that in a different way in the National Medical Support Notice portion, or in more detail. And then below that is dependent information. Again, it might not just be, they might not just have children that's on the case in question, or the case that we're trying to get more information about, but they may have children from another relationship. So this is where you would list the dependents on their health insurance. And then the policy information, and this would be for medical, dental, and vision, although maybe only medical's provided, whatever is provided. If you could please give us the insurance company's name, address, phone number, policy number, effective dates of coverage, and expiration date if that applies. All right, and then the last page, this is simply a certification. You are under penalty of perjury, you are agreeing that the information furnished in this document is true and correct. And I have seen some employers, they have a stamp already that has this information. They stamp it and then they just sign their name. That's fine, as long as the information that's listed here is included when you complete the document. That's perfectly fine. And then return it to us either by mail, or if you see an email address provided on the front page, it should be a stamp that the case managers like myself are putting. You can return it through email.